はい、どうも S級くらぶのシャロです。シャーロック・ホームズやっていきたいと思います。じゃあ、バーゲルに話しかけていきましょう。
Werner, are you alright?
Oh, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
はい。嘘をつくかつかないかなんですけど、嘘をつく気はもちろんないです。
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
はい、じゃあ証拠提示します。どれがわかるかな？あ、これかな。
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
はい、あと他も聞いてこうかな。
I'm not supposed to know anything about this.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you?
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
はい、じゃあ、証拠あるかな？いっぱいあるか。ボーゲル、マンドレイク。でもこの辺は多分あんま変わらないんで、記憶の宮殿だけくっつくか見ていこうかな。くっつかない。くっつかない。こっちで見た方が早かったか。くっつかないね。OK。じゃあ、容疑者3人いるんで話聞いていきたいと思います。まず、この人から。これがマティスタです。
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
はい。お悔やみ申し上げとこうかな。
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
じゃあ観察してみます。まず顔かな。血が溜まった傷、最近つけられた。そやなオカルトの入れ墨、自分で入れ墨をした。爪を噛んでいる神経質。爪噛んでますね。見えへんけどあんまり。これがリストカットですね。治った古い切り傷。自分で傷つけた傷。あとは足かせの傷。古くほとんど見えない。もう一個上かな。やけどの傷。焼きごてによってつけられた。はい。これらから、過去について自分を罰しているのか、自分の体から乖離しているのかなんですけど、こっちですね。ファビオの相棒であるマティスタは辛い人生を送ってきた。まだかな？まだ子供だった頃から、彼女は奴隷として働いていた。同じ奴隷であるファビオと出会ったが、二人が似た印を持っているのはそのためだ。古い傷は思春期の奴隷生活の頃のものだ。奴隷時代の経験で負った心の傷は現在も彼女を苦しめている。 長年による虐待でマティスタは自分の体に気を使わなくなったようだ。彼女は客に体を打って、客の好きなようにさせている。彼女は一線を越えることにためらいがない。また、マティスタは体に入れ墨を入れている。
You have both old and new scars. Some from the time when you were a slave with Fabio. Other scars have a different origin. The guests pay good money to torment you?
I am skilled in giving pleasure, but I don't participate in such practices.
I thought your body was...
For sale? It's true. Many unwanted things were done to my body. And the pain helped me to discover...
Occult deities? Yes, the tattoo speaks loudly of it.
Yes. Your gods abandoned me, and the ones I favor now are more protective of me.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
はい。どこで怪我をしたんだ？証拠を提示する。まずはこっち聞きましょう。
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
はい。なんか、お客さんに傷をつけられたって言ってますね。で、証拠を見ていきましょう。提示しましょう。違
I've
う。
nothing to add.
これですね。
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped. I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
はい。ちょっと結構ガチで進行してるって感じですね。これは
This is the letter the police found in Mr. Vogel's pocket. Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it refuses to let me analyze it.
はい。じゃあ、あなたはオカルトを信仰している。まあ、そらそうだろうって感じやけど、まあ言いましょう。
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
はい。証拠増えたかな。マティスタは過去に奴隷としての時間をファビオと共に過ごしていた。マティスタが持っていたオカルトの本には、事件現場に似た儀式が記されていた。ファビオを取り戻すために白魔術を使ったと言っている。魔法を使ったみたいですね。マティスタは様々な目的でオカルトを使用すると主張する。白魔術なるものをファビオに使ったようだ。同じこと書いてますね。で人物はまあいいでしょう。記憶の宮殿をくっつけて、うわー多いな。いきます。これはくっつかない。これ下からこういった方がいいね。はい。マティスタを傷つけたのはファビオだ。喫煙室で、揉み合い、ファビオはマティスタを傷つけた。はい。あとが、さっきのが割れますね。マティスタは客に傷つけられた。マティスタはパーティーの最中に客から乱暴な声を受け、体に傷を負った。ということで、これが意見が割れると。あとの手がかりが、ないのかな？くっついた。マティスタはファビオに儀式を施したのかもしれない。マティスタはファビオに儀式を施し、彼の愛を取り戻そうとしたのかもしれない。はい。あとはくっつかないですね。じゃあ、次、カートマントスに話聞きたいと思います。そういえばこれ、警察の服装に変えよう。特に意味はないんですけどね。はい。なんか取り調べなんで。は はい、じゃあ聞きます。
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers, the new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
はい、じゃあ観察していきます。顔が、頬紅化粧をしている。赤い斑点、染毛剤による発疹。あとが、爪の下の洗剤、急いで手を洗った。これほんまによくわかるよなって。見える？見えへんよな。あと、足が、磨かれた質のいい靴。非常に贅沢な靴。はい。年を隠しているのか、潔癖症か。なんですけど、まあ年齢隠してるでしょう。はい。カートマンチョス。カートマンチョスは、非常に裕福だが、風変わりで分別がない。彼はコルドナの上流階級の人間たちのために、パーティーを主催し、マンチョス邸を所有している。彼が時間を共に過ごすのは、自分と同じく過剰な特権を持った人間たちだ。だが、カートはパーティーで、自分の本当の年齢を若い参加者に隠そうとしている。彼は老いを気にするあまり化粧や染毛剤で自分を若く見せようとしている。
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
はい。なんか今の我々の反転とかを嫌うのは若者たちの方だっていうのは俺結構好きな言葉ですね。はい。じゃあ、パーティーについて詳しく知りたい。
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
はい。じゃあ、なぜボーゲルを招待した？
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
はい。まあ、ボーゲルの悪口ですね、ある意味。で、誰を招待する？
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see.
じゃあ、ファビオはどんな人物だった？
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties, young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty, otherwise I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
はい。では、証拠を提示します。まあ、これかな
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
勝手にマティスタを持っていったし、カートは別に信じてなかったっていうことですね。
You'd better ask someone else.
あ、これかな
I've read this letter from Fabio. It had no addressee, but it was found in Mr. Vogel's pocket.
Werner? Strange. I didn't think the two of them corresponded.
I'm sure there is some explanation. Would you care to read it?
Call me superstitious, but I don't care to read a letter from a dead man.
なんか、マティスタもこの人も全然手紙は読んでくれなさそうですね。これは
That's not something I know much about.
これか
That's not something I know much about.
あ、こっちか。
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
はい。結構、執事長に裏切られたみたいなんで怒ってますね。あとが、あ、これやね。カフスボタン。
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protégé and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
まあ、いろいろ聞きましたね。じゃあまた、証拠とか見ていきます。この辺りは別に書いてあることは聞いたことだけなんでいいと思うんで、記憶の宮殿を見ます。はい。カートは殺人の後で自らを洗った。カートはファビオを殺害した後、体についた血を洗い流した。はい。あとは、逆の方がいいって。カートは道楽のために準備をしている。カートマンチョスは堕落した趣味のために注意深く準備をしている。ちょっとあんまりこれ意味はわかんないんだけど、もう普通にシャワー浴びてるのと一緒みたいな感じなのかな。で、こっちが殺人の後で洗ったっていうのはさっきのやつですね。で、これがまた分かれたと。はい、あとはくっつかないのか。OK。そうだね、くっつかないね。はい。じゃあ、残りもう一人がサントスに、事情を聞きに行くんですけど、多分時間短いけどいい感じかなと思うんで、今日はここで終わりたいと思います。では、最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。チャンネル登録と高評価お願いします。じゃあまた明日。